Welcome to the Movie Talk Show with Dave D.C. Kalari from DC Unboxed and from the Screenwriter's Room, the screenwriter himself, Rob Alvarenga. Now, here is your host, Joe Zapata.
What's up, guys? I'm Joe Zapata. Another week of movie talk. I got my boy Dave Kalari. Happy birthday, Dave!
Thank you, fellas. It's an entrepreneurial Wednesday, apparently.
And of course, Rob Alvarenga. What's up, Rob?
Yeah. Hey, excited to see that Dave is finally legal. So, happy birthday, brother!
Happy birthday! 21 or 22? What would you turn?
19.
19. Very good.
Yeah,
I like my girlfriend's age.
Benjamin Button style, reverse Benjamin Button.
There you go. Looking good. Looking good for your age. Looking good for your age. All right, guys. We got some stuff we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Jason Momoa as Lobo, He-Man trailer. Now that we got the full review, and of course the Maul Shadow Lord trailer that came out too. All right, so let's start actually. And I have the first story I thought was interesting, and that was about Jacob Elordi as James Bond. They haven't made an announcement. It's rumored now. This is only rumors now that he is actually in the runnings to be James Bond. Now, I had some pros and cons. I thought it was interesting they would pick him because he'd be the tallest James Bond actor ever. You
have to be 007.
007. Yeah. 6'5". Now he's young. He's good. Good looking guy. But again, the cons. He's never been in an action role, and his height is, like I said, 6'5" is pretty big. Rob, I'll start with you. Do you like James Bond, and what do you think about this rumored casting?
Well, I'll answer the first question. I love James Bond. The 007 franchise has just been awesome. I've been there. I haven't been there from the beginning, but I go back to Sean Connery, so that's how far back I go. And as far as this rumor, there's a few things. I mean, as an actor, Jacob, I think, is awesome. He just did a fantastic turn as the monster in Frankenstein.
Correct.
So, and so he has range for sure. And I've seen some clips in some of these other movies and stuff like that. He definitely has the charisma to pull off the character in Bond, but it just sucks. I don't really like, I'm always big on finding the best actor to capture the character. He could do it. 6'5" is really tall, and this is a spy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but a 6'5" spy. I mean, they're gonna know him. He's gonna see him coming miles away. At least for me, just logically, it's just gonna take me out of the whole movie logic. I'm sorry, you just can't hide 6'5". It's just like a guy that's supposed to blend in anywhere. So, I don't want to deny, an opportunity for this guy. If he's the best guy to do it, hey, go for it. Let's see what happens. But I just can't get around that. It's hard for me to picture this guy towering over every single person in the cast and just be like, yeah, I'm undercover.
Dave, what do you think about Jacob Elordi as a possible rumored James Bond?
Well, that was the first thing. Rob's last point was going to be my first point. Like, if we're supposed to believe this guy is an agent of some sort that is supposed to blend in and possibly not stand out, this is the worst choice. Now, the filmmakers can ask us to suspend disbelief, as we have to do many times with movies. But I don't know. And to Rob's point, he's never been in like a big action blowout. So I don't know. Listen, I love the idea of Idris Elba being 007 when his name was getting kicked around. I can understand their want to go in a different direction, maybe with either somebody who's relatively unknown or younger or whatever. But I just feel like that role needs someone a little bit more seasoned than this guy.
Yep, I agree with you. I think a little bit more seasoned and someone who's not as a giant, 7'1" or whatever.
Really?
I just can't picture that. Just running around, being spying, crawling behind bushes. He's too big.
Yeah.
Although he looks good, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, he's got that going for him. Yeah, he's good looking.
He's a good looking guy. He played Elvis. He's a good actor too. He looks really promising. Looks like a really good upcoming actor, but I think we need to someone else. But we'll wait and see. It's only a rumor, guys, and everyone's going with it. So let's just see what happens. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is DC. We had another teaser trailer that came out, and they dropped a great picture of Lobo. Now we got our full picture of Lobo, and I loved him coming in on the cycle. Here's a quick pic of what he looked like coming in. Jason Momoa as Lobo. Looked great. Looked really good. And so I'm excited for it. So, Dave, what did you see with that teaser trailer with Jason Lobo? Did you like the Lobo look?
This is going to be the hottest take.
Okay.
Lobo as a character is fine. Something about Jason Momoa, I don't care. I didn't even watch it.
Oh, man.
I do not care about Jason Momoa doing anything in the DC universe anymore. I really don't.
Really? Did you like him as Aquaman?
Only because the first one was better than I thought it was going to be, and the second one was just terrible.
Okay.
And because one of my clients, he worked with Momoa to get him to two different cons last year in London, to the tune of $500,000. Yeah.
That's
Whoa.
And just some stuff he told me about how he handles himself like publicly. I was like, nah.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. I know a couple actors like that. Mickey Rourke, I could tell you, is not the greatest. When I've dealt with Mickey Rourke and from Chillers and stuff, not the greatest guy you want to be around. No wonder he's on there asking for money or whatever he is with that. Rob, what did you think of that Jason Momoa little tease there that we got? We got to see him full costume now. What do you think?
That's it, Jeff. It's a great casting, and for what?
Just the way you're fumbling for what to say, and I'm like,
it's just I know, and I hate that. A friend of mine always says when you start hemming and hawing about certain takes, I know that it's just you're not digging it. Looks wise, it's an exact match for the character. It's great. I know enough to be dangerous as far as when it comes to the Lobo character. It's a really grimy type of character, and I'm sure Momoa will be able to pull it off just fine. I guess the reason why I feel I kind of look the way I am when it comes to this take is because we finally see him, and I'm just like, it's not really what's going to draw me to this movie, to be quite honest. I'm really more curious about, the actress, the actual Supergirl, and actually this world that she's maneuvering that actually could hurt her. So, Lobo is he's a side character. The makeup, he looks like Kiss. He should be like, the backup singers to a groupie that just really is into Kiss. I mean, that's what I kind of looked like. So, but the bike looks great.
Yeah.
That's not really it's not something that's, seeing him as Lobo is not what's going to draw me to the theater to see this movie. So I'm glad they got this out of the way for all you Lobo fanatics. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Lobo, so as a character itself. So I think it's not going to be shown prominently in this movie, to be quite honest. He'll have his little cameo, whatever, and then get out of here. So, it is what it is.
I don't know Lobo's strength in the comic. Is he really strong? Supposed to be really?
He's enough to get into a fight with Superman and not get destroyed. So
okay. I didn't know too much of his superpowers. I just thought he was a Ghost Rider type of deal.
Yeah, his strength is he's a galactic being. So his powers are beyond what powers Superman. So he's strong everywhere versus Superman is only strong under a yellow sun. So,
gotcha. Okay.
He's got the power of repulsion.
All right. Well, we'll see. I mean, everyone was talking about his look online, so we'll see. But now you
got a lot of Momoa stands, and Lobo's been one of those characters that people have been dying to see forever. I've known about him forever, but I really don't know anything about the character. I guess nothing about him really interested me that much. And if we want to look at guys on motorcycles, I think Ghost Rider is a way more interesting character. Granted, it's Marvel, but I'd rather see that. I want to see a proper Ghost Rider movie come out. Then I hear nothing about Lobo.
All right.
Even give me Ghost Rider before Blade. We still have Blade 2 we can go back to.
That's true. That's true.
We have the
All
Guillermo
right.
del Toro masterpiece.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll wait and see what happens with that. The next topic I want to spend a little bit more time on is we finally got the full He-Man trailer, and we had the teaser the day before our show, and we talked about, but we got the full trailer that came out, and there's actually a lot of mixed reviews I've been seeing online with this, and there's a couple of different areas, and I want to talk to you guys about this. I enjoyed the trailer. I thought it was really good. You kind of fall between a couple of lines because people are complaining. We grew up the cartoon He-Man being a jacked guy, right? So it's very hard to find a jacked guy who can act. Let's just put it this way, right? So there's an issue. Now, but people are saying, hey, He-Man is supposed to be use CGI, make him big. I don't know if we want to do that. But, Rob, I will start with you on this one. What do you think about He-Man, the full trailer first? And what do you think about these thoughts of, the thoughts of He-Man being jacked?
Okay. I don't know what people are actually like, really want out of this. Okay. Evidently let's just rewind here. They tried the whole jacked version of He-Man in another effort, and that was Dolph Lundgren.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually literally hired the guy because he had muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind that he barely knew how to speak English. So we went down that road before. Okay, this movie, which I'm happy, I'm realizing that the director, Travis Knight, I believe is his name, is the guy that did Bumblebee.
Yes.
And need I remind everybody that Bumblebee is probably considered the best or one of the best live action Transformer movies. Bay had his time in the sun, but that one right there was almost like a direct rip from the actual cartoon and brought it to life. He was able to pull that off. Not Michael Bay. So based on this trailer, he literally pulled everything from the cartoon onto real life. And the fact that we have a guy that it's not like he's skinny. He's jacked in his own right. Pretty tall, I think. He's definitely 6'2", 3", something like that. Whatever. But you're going to see He-Man because of the world that character represents.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a fan of the cartoons, you didn't go there to see his pecs. You went to see the magic basically of that show. So I don't know what people are looking for. You want a He-Man that's got deltoids up to his forehead. Like, dude, come on. It be reasonable, okay? Everything about this trailer seems to have nailed it very much like what we want to see out of the cartoons. I mean, I remember leading up to the old 80s Masters of the Universe, the fact that they were going to actually translate these cartoon characters into live action was enough for us. We just didn't see these guys in the flesh. We couldn't conceptualize something that's from cartoon to live action. So the fact that we got what we got, and it's cult classic at this point, but now something that's actually almost directly an adaptation to the cartoon. I don't know. I think that's what should be celebrated, not the fact that this guy doesn't have enough muscles for you.
Yep, I think so. Dave, what did you think about the trailer, and what do you think about this He-Man not being jacked enough? I mean, crazy.
I like the trailer. I watched it 4 times back to back.
Okay.
It has. Last week, I think one of the last things Rob said was they better not do this Earth Eternia nonsense. This is bullshit. And then all of a sudden, the first part of the trailer is I sent you to Earth. I was like, oh no. But then they told you the narrative right away, and it makes sense to go from Earth back into Eternia than Eternia into Earth. Correct. I still say the original Masters of the Universe was like a Star Wars movie that ran out of money as they kept filming it. It just ran out of steam. Mm-hmm. So I think where they're going with the narrative is good. Yes, He-Man was big, and yes, the only difference between He-Man and Adam was his clothing. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you can look like his power comes from the sword. So it's fine that he's not jacked. And it's not like he's not a string bean. Like he's just not a bodybuilder. It's fine. I was totally fine with it. And then if you at least look at some of the cues that they might be taking from, what was it, He-Man like 2002 or whatever it was, or even the more recent like He-Man Revelations, where he's still a tall, muscular guy. He's just not the same. Like he looks more akin to what we saw in the later designs of He-Man than earlier, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I saw also people had complaints about Idris Elba. Man at Arms was not black. You guys obviously, if he's a good actor and can do it, we don't care, obviously. Then I also saw the He-Man joke. You saw that
nobody has paid attention to Nick Fury for the last 15 years.
Exactly, but I guess because he's black, I don't know, but that's what they're saying. It's kind of crazy. I don't know, but they were complaining about that, and then they were complaining about the he, she, the pronouns, which was sort of a thing on his desk. People were complaining about that. I mean, this movie is not going to be for everybody. I think the people who love the cartoon, our generation, are going to love it. Younger kids are not going to care for it. Depends. We'll see how it goes. But I thought the trailer obviously was really good. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I just have a problem with like people just like forgetting satire. There's a thing called satire,
Yeah,
and you don't know what that is. I mean, please.
Show his name tag, and he's just like, like it's right there.
It's a one-off joke. Move on, because if that's gonna make or break your movie experience with this movie, then you know what? Then this movie's not for you. Then don't bother going to watch it, because if that's gonna break you, are you really a He-Man fan? Then I mean, come on,
You guys think Orko's going to be in it? Orko's going to be. I think he will be.
It better be, rather than that weird Snarf character they gave us in the original one. Brindle, something like that.
It was something weird. I don't know. I try to forget that thing, but it was that's harsh to me. He wasn't that bad, but still, yeah, I prefer Orko. That would be nice to see.
I saw him in the trailer. I saw some. Did you see him in the trailer? I thought for a second, possibly, when he was running on the bridge of the kid. When he's running on the bridge of the kid, I thought I saw him, but it's.
I got to watch it again.
Yes, you see it. I'll have to put him.
If the people who prefer to use pronouns want everyone to respect their use of the pronouns, that's totally fine. But you guys also have to respect the people who don't really care about their pronouns. Like, it should go both ways.
Correct. 100%. 100% right. But I think it's going to be a great movie. That fight at the end, Skeletor and He-Man, looked really cool.
Skeletor looks legit. I hate that it's Jared Leto, but you can't even tell, so I don't even care.
No,
the credits.
100%. I'm right there with you. That Skeletor design is off the hook. It's crazy. I kind of think that they showed a little too much. I kind of, didn't. I don't think I could have needed to see that fight, but I guess they really want to hammer home, like, hey, listen, you're gonna see He-Man versus Skeletor, and they're actually gonna be doing battle, not some light show like we did in '80. So, there's so much they got right with this freaking trailer. I really hope that it's what it shows. That we're gonna spend a little bit of time in, looks like Seattle, and then the rest of the movie, Eternia. So yeah, you're right, Dave. That kind of irked me when I saw Earth was there. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I do hear, Dave. I do hear a Voltron teaser will be at the end of next month.
Well, you know what Rob sent us today? The first look at God, what was it? With
Highlander.
Yo, give us a teaser for Voltron, bro.
Yes, I'm waiting for Voltron too. That's my next get to. I love Voltron. All right. Finally, the final subject we're going to talk about is Maul, Shadow Lord, that came out. And I have a picture right here. I'm going to pull up right here. The Shadow Lord trailer came out, and I saw it, the teaser. I saw it. I thought it was good. However, as a big Star Wars fan that I am, Dave Filoni's working on it. It comes out April 6th on Disney. The only thing is they stay in the same characters, the same story time. I think we need something different.
5
we've
years
seen
after
it.
Return of the Jedi.
What?
5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, with the same timeline, the same bullshit. I love the animation. I love all that stuff, but I think we need a little change. I mean, I like Sam Witwer as Darth Maul. I actually know him, so actually friendly with him. So I was like, oh, good for him, but same thing, Darth Maul and everything. Dave, did you see this little teaser? I mean, you like the animated stuff. What'd you think of it?
I didn't, but they're like 20 years too late with giving Darth Maul his due. I think he was the best part about episode 1, and he was taken from the franchise, I think, too early. They could have made him a bigger foil going through the rest of the prequels. Because I just don't know. I don't know. I just feel like we've told so much story has been told from the Star Wars universe between obviously the prequels obviously happened before, but then we got the new trilogy and we have Rogue One. We have all this stuff, and he's never mentioned in anything. And I know the timelines are all over the place. I just feel like they could have done so much with a really great character, and at this point, it's just like I guess we'll pull out Old Faithful and see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Dave. Rob, did you see the trailer? What did you think of the teaser? What did you think of it? What do you think of this character?
I did see the teaser, and so I'll start with the good. I think more times than not, the Star Wars animations really hit. They're actually really, really good, and a lot of times much better than some of the movies we got, or even the shows we got out of this universe. So this one looks like it's gonna probably be good. One thing that I noticed right off the bat is that they're gonna show a lot of people getting chopped in half by lightsabers, which I'm like, okay, if that's what you're gonna give me, okay, I'll take it. He's I think everybody knows more or less the storyline they're going with this is that Maul, he's alive, he's got metal legs now, and he's been excommunicated from the Sith, and so he's going to turn to become basically a kingpin in the underworld. So fine, I guess to see where that story arc leads that character. If you're a fan, I think this show is going to be good. Now, how I really feel about all this. Once upon a time, I was probably one of the biggest Star Wars fans. Then when they started explaining everything and started hitting me with all these shows to fill in every single gap in this timeline, after a while, I'm like, you know what? This is BS. I mean, you're making this up as you go. You don't. There was no idea to kind of like have all these things within this universe that George Lucas created. And at some point, now you got things that like, okay, this happened, but then this is supposed to happen at the same time. But if that's happening at the same time, why are two people in the same place at the same? It's like, it will drive you crazy the more you think about what's happening in the Star Wars timeline. And I'm kind of like over it. The one thing that's still going strong for me is still The Mandalorian. And I will, I'm still excited about their movie. But honestly, this is probably like the last hurrah, as far as like what I expect to have anything good come out of Star Wars. Until, again, someone has the balls to be like, you know what? It is time to take Star Wars to somewhere that we've never gone to. All right. I'm not trying to marry it to Star Trek. It's not a Final Frontier thing. It's like, let's get us somewhere where it's like we get to care about characters again. There's too many of them flowing around, and it's all within the characters that we do love, their timeline, which is the Skywalkers, the Han Solos. As long as those guys are running around, these guys are just side characters, it's side quests. It's I'm over it. Give us something new. Give us a new trio, if you want, of people for us to really care about. They dropped the ball with Ray and Dan Poe Dameron and all this stuff there. So you know what? Learn from your lessons and take a break, and then start something new.
Yep, 100%. I agree with you 100%. I think they need.
What happened to the Ray trilogy we were supposed to get?
I think that's off the table now. That's not happening.
Like, I was actually halfway interested in that because I thought her character, like, she was fairly compelling.
Yeah,
and I didn't even see the Return of Skywalker, whatever the last movie. I didn't even see it. I was like, I don't even care.
Yeah, no. If you would have seen it, then you would not be wanting to see another show about her. Yeah.
If you told me a Rey thing was coming out, I'd be like, all right, at least they're trying something different. I just don't really know where the Star Wars universe goes right now, though. because all the characters that we really cared about, and the biggest thing at that time was Vader, and they solved that problem. So now what?
Yeah. And plus, they killed every one of my favorite heroes. You kill Luke Skywalker, you kill Han Solo, I mean, why are you killing off these people,
There's Poe Dameron's, he's a great supporting character, but there's no reason he fills a story. Same thing with who was the
Boyega, right?
Boyega, Finn, the character Finn.
Yeah.
Finn. Yep.
Can I just say one thing about that character? I gotta say so real quick about that character, Finn. They had the opportunity to do something really special there. A stormtrooper that could become a Jedi.
Oh yeah.
What happened there? Sorry, just need to jump that in because that has always bugged the hell out of me. And what it did to that character is just, for me, unforgivable.
Yeah. And then they had remembering that they had his girl that he was with, Rose Tran. There was they just wasted her character completely in that. I mean, it was just really bad how they treated that. I wasn't happy about that at all. But would you guys have liked a live action Maul? Most movie? Would you guys be up to that or no? I think Maul's done.
I wanted it to be Ray Park. I just know that it can't be.
Oh, he's nuts. Ray Park's got some issues.
Oh, does he?
Oh yeah, he's got some issues.
He got mad that they killed him off so long ago.
Yeah, Ray Park. Yeah, he's got some issues. I mean, this is leave it at that. I'll tell you guys off the air.
Nice.
I'll tell you guys off the air. But he's nowhere going near that role, and I think Star Wars, Disney doesn't want him near that area. But I guess we'll wait and see. April 6th it drops on Disney Plus. They're gonna drop 2 episodes, whatever. But and I know next week they dropped the Daredevil teaser, which was pretty good. We didn't get a chance to talk about that. Maybe next week. But what do you guys think? What you saw so far, real quick?
Well, if you just said that Maul drops in April, it's gonna get. I hope it gets hammered by Daredevil a couple of weeks before.
Yeah, because it drops at the same time, right?
March 26th.
March 26th, yeah.
Which
it looks
also
good.
The fastest we've ever gotten a second series. And aside from What If, which I don't really count, this and Loki are the only multiple season Disney Marvel shows so far.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Mm-hmm.
It's worth it. And that trailer. Well, I know we'll get into it more deeper, but let's just say that
you enjoyed it, right? We got it.
Good.
It looked really good. All right, guys. So let's get into some fan questions that came in, and we're going to start it off here. Here we go. So this one is from Roger W. He's from Newark, New Jersey. He says, "Yo, fellas, who do you think is the best rapper turned actor? Ice Cube for me, boys." Okay, so Roger says, "Who's the best rapper turned actor? Ice Cube? I mean, Will Smith. You can consider." I don't know. Maybe Mark Wahlberg. We can consider Marky Mark, right?
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Can we?
What was that movie with Sylvester Stallone? And he was in prison with the cubes, and I think he was supposed to test how good the security was. So 50 Cent was his computer tech.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Escape plan.
He puts his glasses on. He was like, "I'm computers. I'm the computer tech. I know about computers."
What movie was that? I don't know if it was Escape Plan or Locked Up.
I think it's called Escape Plan.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of just longevity and impact, probably Wahlberg.
Yeah, I think
people probably forget that he was Marky Mark. He's been kind of high level for a long time, whatever you think about his movies. But there's a lot of people oh, Mark Wahlberg movie, I'll go see it.
Yeah, longevity. Yeah, I will throw out one guy that I think deserves because I think he's been putting in some good work. Method Man. I think he's done some really good acting stuff here and there. I don't know why it hasn't really caught on because he's done a lot of serious stuff. So, but yeah, if you're gonna go technical, I mean, I think the greatest one would be Will Smith.
Will Smith, even though he's not really seen very well in Hollywood right now, but Will Smith, who else I was thinking? Ludacris. Ludacris. I don't know.
Ice Cube is good too, though. Roger makes a good point. Ice Cube is good.
Yeah, Ice Cube's good. The War of the Worlds wasn't
War of the Worlds kind of like torpedo a lot of stuff. If he's in a comedy, I'll definitely watch Ice Cube.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Next.
He was in Friday. That will make up for a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, that was really good. All right.
And the Jump Streets.
The Jump Streets for sure.
All right, here we go. We got, of course, our Ghostbusters one. William P. from North Jersey says, "You got to wonder, GB Dave, how come Winston didn't disclose his advanced containment facility sooner? GB for life."
Yeah, I have no idea. But the thing that was interesting is that as soon as it became an issue, I was just watching this the other day. He brings them to the aquarium and hands them all like their access cards. So maybe he was waiting till it was done, so he had something to show them, and there was a reason to be like, all of a sudden the containment unit is on the fritz, so maybe we should show them what's going on. But let them do what they're doing, and we'll work on the stuff in the background.
Okay. All right, let's see. We got Brett T from Verona, New Jersey. He says, "Hey, Dave, great flight suit video. I may purchase one. It is a little pricey, but looks great. How is the fabric when you move?"
Oh, I like that this guy's done his research. My first suit was a suit called Proper, and it was a different like cotton twill, and it was fine. It was very comfortable. This feels, it's just as comfortable, but it's a little sturdier, so it actually feels like a real piece of like uniform. I was impressed. I remember when I first was looking at suits way back around Halloween, and I saw what those were going for. I was like, "There's no way." Now that I have one, if this guy does like a Ghostbusters 2 or a black engineer suit from Frozen Empire, I'm like, sold.
Wow, that's really cool. All right, that's cool. All right, let's see. Ben S. from Suffolk, New York. Rob, I heard Ben Affleck mention this on Joe Rogan. Do you think AI will take over screenwriting?
No. The bottom line is no. Because until AI has imagination, I just don't see how this, takes over. I think what will happen is, unfortunately, you're gonna have a lot of like either studios or producers. They're gonna try and cut corners as far as like money goes, or even just take credit themselves for putting together a script that they just had it just like vomited out of AI. It's it's here. You're gonna have people that are gonna use it as just like that's the main storyteller, but it's never gonna replace true imagination, true like inspiration from a writer. Writers out there know what I'm talking about. It takes a while for you to even come up with a concept, and you're thinking about like you should be thinking about it. I'm gonna make this movie because I want to see this movie. I want to write this movie because I want to see it. And chances are, if you want to see this movie, other people want to see this movie. All AI right now can do is basically imitate and basically copy. It's from what's out there already. So it may look like it's something legit that could take over the industry because it's so powerful. But until it gets to the point where it's like it has like a true sense of like wonder of all these things that make movies magic, it's just not going to do that. Look, AI is a powerful tool. I use it, but it's not to create my stories. The stories are still mine. If anything, this thing is like polishing myself up, but it's nothing, but it's all at the technical level. That's probably what it should be used for. But never am I even gonna put something out there, put my name on it, and have it because it came from a machine. That machine, it's just not gonna be able. It's just up to we get true artificial intelligence. I just don't see it. I don't see how it takes over.
Yep.
Unless you want movies that are just full of tropes.
That's all it's gonna be. It's all gonna be.
It'll just take, the algorithm will just populate itself with whatever's been the most popular or financially viable, and then everything just kind of gets boiled down to the lowest common denominator. I see with the AI music, like upon first listen, you're like, yeah, this is a good song. But if you know music and you listen to chord structures and song structures, you're like, this just sounds like the same old generic stuff I just heard 50 other times and didn't care about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And to your point, the audience is going to be able to tell.
Yeah, it gives you a glossy product like very quickly. You're like, oh, great, I don't have to do anything. But then it's also the product doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%. All right. Next question here. Chris T from South Jersey says, "Hey Dave, I got to watch Frozen Empire on Hulu yesterday, and Bill Murray does absolutely nothing. It was only for fan service." Well, I mean, he's what, 70 something years old? What's he gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I said this before. He seems the most disinterested, but shows up because,
Yes.
you know, like it's a. I don't want to say it's a paycheck. I think he still does have some reverence for the fact that this franchise is still going on, very popular 40 years later, and you're really at the point now where it's literally getting handed over to a new generation. Whether we see that go on with more movies or we start to see stuff more with like the animated series that they've been talking about for Netflix, the OGs don't need to be there. Like Winston, you can even only mention Winston by name at this point. He doesn't even have to be in it, but he's probably the most likely. And I've said this before, having Stans be like the old Oracle that you go to for information is also cool. But if they do another one and the guys are in it, that's awesome. But Bill Murray does not have to be there. And at the same time, he's just so notorious for like, am I going to show up? Am I not going to show up? Let's find out and see. Like, who wants to shoot movies like that and hinge the success on one of your biggest stars maybe showing up?
Yeah, I saw a great video interview with Bill Murray, and he said after Ghostbusters 2, he was totally disenchanted with Ghostbusters. He said he went back to did the video game, and he said things started happening and where he started to feel good about it. And he said he was like walking down the street singing Ghostbusters theme song, and these people looked at him and were like, "Get over yourself, man. Get over yourself."
Yeah.
You know, anybody said that was what brought him back.
The concept for the original video game in the third movie, where it was called Hellbound, and there was the they get transported to Manhattan, and everything was like the devilish version of themselves. I'm like, yo, Stranger Things straight ripped that off. Not that I'm complaining. Stranger Things was still ended up being a good show, but like I would still love to see that movie. And there was an episode of the real Ghostbusters called, I want to say it was called, actually it wasn't called Ghosts R Us, but they get pulled into like an alternate universe where the Ghostbusters are now people busters, and they just bust people in this like zombie apocalypse world.
Do you have real Ghostbusters on DVD or?
I have the season 1, 2, and 3. I'm missing 4 and 5.
Oh, okay. Pretty cool. All right, guys, that wraps up the question portion. We're just going to run and finish up with our trivia, and then we'll be done for next week. All right, so for trivia time, let's go. I'm going to start off with you, Rob. Ready? There's no place like home. No place like home.
Wizard of Oz. I'm like, that's too easy. Hold on.
All right, Dave, laugh it up, fuzzball.
Spaceballs.
I actually have Empire Strikes Back.
What is it?
Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking. I feel like didn't Lone Star say that to Mog at some point?
That's what I was thinking myself just now as I'm doing it, but that's the only one that came up.
You guys.
All right. Let's see. You ready, Rob? Where does he get these wonderful toys?
Batman.
Very good. All right, Dave. I'm the servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Arnor.
Lord of the Rings.
Very good. All right, Rob. Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives, all the same.
Avengers: Infinity War.
Very good. All right, Dave. Stupid is as stupid does.
Forrest Gump.
Very good. All right, Rob. There's a snake in my boot.
That's Indiana Jones. That's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No. Come on.
Toy Story.
Toy Story. Snake monkey. All right, ready? All right, well, Dave, I have nipples. Greg, can you milk me?
Yeah, meet the parents.
Very good. Very good. Very good. All right. All right, Rob. I ain't got time to bleed.
Oh, Predator.
Okay. And the last one is go home and get your fucking shine box.
I have no idea.
No?
Ooh.
You don't know? Rob, you know it?
Yeah, it's Goodfellas.
Have you seen Goodfellas? Goodfellas.
Yeah,
good
but
movie.
like, no.
Yeah.
Time
Time ago.
All
All
I
right,
remember
guys.
from Goodfellas is the Ray Liotta laughing gif that people sent each other.
Yes, that's classic.
All right, guys. Another great week. I will see you guys next week. Happy birthday, Dave. Enjoy
Happy
yourself.
birthday, bro.
Thank you.
You got it, man. All right.
Started from nothing. Jersey streets, we owned it. JerZey pumping iron. Body builder coding. Beings on the course.